TikTok. We live, baby. I'm gonna wait and give y'all a few minutes to get into the room, get into it. And we're gonna talk about how your information is shared and verified throughout the various governmental agencies. What's going on, TikTok? So we are streaming from YouTube as well as TikTok today. Y'all tap in and let me know where you are viewing from. What's going on, Dexter? What's up, Raising the Austins? How you doing, Andy? What's up? Hi, Ebony. How you doing? Hello to YouTube land. I'm normally not YouTube, but how y'all doing? Trying to get my YouTube content up. So we gonna stream from both today. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to get in because I know some people were all on Facebook asking me where I was live at. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes and I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Okay, y'all ready for the question? Let me know who's watching. How many of y'all watching on TikTok? I'm doing good, Ebony. Thank you for asking. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question that I asked Facebook today. Let me see who can tell me the answer, and I'm gonna give y'all an answer. The question is, how does the government verify your resources, such as income, if you get other government resources, your employment status, background? How are they verifying that information? What are you guessing? Somebody tell me. Let's talk about it. Also, let me get this disclaimer. This information that we're talking about today is for educational purposes only. This is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer or attorney, paralegal, none of that stuff. All the information and resources I give you is so you can go and do your own due diligence. Today we're talking about how your personal information is shared. Basically, when I say share, I mean sold. Because people are making money from sharing this information. So what are y'all guessing? What's up? I see we have some more people tuning in from YouTube. How y'all doing? We streaming from TikTok and YouTube. So if y'all see me, look at the other one. We on TikTok over here. We on YouTube right here. How y'all doing, YouTube? Thank y'all for the engagement. I appreciate y'all. Let's get the engagement up on TikTok. Y'all do me a favor and tap the screen if you are in the room, if you're interested in the topic and you want me to start talking about it. Tap the screen for me. Let's get some more people in the room. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. How you doing, Rubio? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Oops. Let's see we getting some more people on YouTube. So y'all, for the people who are just coming in the room, we are going to talk about how your personal information is shared. First of all, I asked both of the lives a question. I asked Facebook already, so if y'all are on Facebook, you could drop the answer in the comments if you read. The question is, how does the government verify your resources, whether it be income, employment status, background, whatever? How are they verifying that information? Who can guess how they're verifying that information? I'm gonna give y'all a moment for it to think, it to settle on your brain and you to actually think about it. What's your best guess? No wrong answers. We're all here to learn, but it's a learning exercise. Y'all gotta use your brain a little bit. Let's see who's gonna guess it first between TikTok and YouTube by Social Security. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by Social Security? By like using your Social Security number? Third party reporting agencies. Okay. What is the third party reporting agency called? Equifax Workforce Solutions, a database that they have your information on. All right, so somebody on YouTube said Equifax. When I was asking y'all how are they doing it, I was meaning like literally how they doing it. Who are they going? If I was to say who are you talking to about me? What company name would you bring up? So, Workforce Solutions is correct. Workforce Solutions is its own company that is a subsidiary of who? Ebony said Equifax. So Workforce Solutions. Y'all put Workforce Solutions in the comments. Let me know you paying attention. TikTok, y'all not liking the screen. I'm leaning more toward YouTube today. Y'all not. What's going on TikTok? Y'all don't want to talk about this? What's up? Y'all not engaging with me. I need the engagement. The point of me going live is for me to help you. Help me help you by encouraging me with engagement. Tap the screen for me. Tap, 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 tap. Share this live with somebody who it can help. Pretty sure it's some people who need credit help. You had me on this trip all morning. Oh, you Ebony from Facebook. Ebony said made you think, huh? Made you think. So I'm gonna tell y'all some fun facts about Equifax. We're gonna talk about Equifax for a second. I know Equifax is very, very underrated because people don't think that Equifax is used, right? Y'all don't really, when y'all say credit bureaus, first of all, put credit bureau in the comment. Y'all put, for everybody who's listening to me, put the word credit bureau in the comment. I want this to be the last time y'all use that word. Put the word credit bureau in the comment. Credit bureau, credit bureau, credit bureau. I want y'all to say it. Credit bureau. This is gonna be the last time y'all say that word. Credit bureau. That phrase. So Equifax, first of all, is not a credit bureau. They're a credit reporting agency. The law is going to call them a credit reporting agency. What law am I talking about? I'm talking about this law. This is the law that governs Equifax and their behaviors. This is the law that governs Workforce Solutions. Workforce Solutions is a credit reporting agency that is also owned by Equifax. Okay? So that means all credit reporting agencies would therefore have to abide by this law. Now, in addition to Workforce Solutions being one of the ways that they are verifying your information. So Workforce Solutions works alongside the government as it pertains to extending you not extending you credit, but extending you benefits like Medicaid, SNAP benefits, any type of housing, anything where they would have to verify your income or anything like that, they're going to use Workforce Solutions. Workforce Solutions also has contracts with your actual employer. So your employer is also contracting with Workforce Solutions. And have y'all ever heard of the work number? It was another girl that was on my, was a lady on my Facebook. She almost guessed the answer was the work number. Neither one of y'all guessed it, but you were closer because you said Workforce Solution. The work number is a website, theworknumber.com. Y'all can go to their website right now and look. You can actually go there to verify people's income. That is because your employer is sharing that information with that company. Sharing means what? What I told y'all sharing means sell, right? So your employer is selling your personal information to the work number. The work number is storing it on a database that is then being used by Workforce Solutions. And Workforce Solutions communicates directly with those government agencies like Social Security and whatever agency approves SNAP. Y'all with me? Consumer Reporting Agency. Right. Consumer Reporting Agency. So if you say credit reporting agency, consumer reporting agency, whatever, I would rather you say credit or consumer versus bureau. Just because that word bureau holds some type of weight. When you hear the word bureau, you think, oh, that's the government appointed company, and it's really not. They are not government appointed. They volunteered They volunteered. Please stay on topic today. We talking about what we talking about. Somebody tell is your name Jimmy? Slim Jimmy. Somebody tell them what we talking about. Right now we talking about workforce solutions and the work number and how your personal information is being shared. Are you aware of how your personal information is being shared? That's okay. Are you aware of how your personal information is being shared? So if you were to go and apply for food stamps right now, whether you tell these people that you make this amount of money or not, they're going to go to these credit reporting agencies or consumer reporting agencies and find that information out. Why are they able to do that? Somebody answer that question. Why are they able to do that? When do you consent? When do y'all consent to do that? I might have an example. I ain't even turn my music off. I did put it because I saw your post before you deleted it. I started looking up before you asked. That's what I said. I ain't see the work number though. I ain't see nobody put the work number on there. I saw you put work solutions or something, but I didn't see you put the work number. Both of y'all were hella close. Who calling me from Dallas? Somebody said something about a 1040. I don't know what you talking about, Slim Jim. Sharing means sell. Info is sold to work number that's stored in a database used by Workforce Solutions. Correct. Correct. Is Social Security number consent? I didn't have a chance to look into that. Social Security number is disclosure. So let me make something clear to y'all. When just say we're doing business, right? Let's say I'm a corporation. I want to know, I'm going to give you a grant, right? But I'm only going to give you the grant under the stipulations that you meet this criteria of income, this criteria of assets, blah 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 blah. So you would have to sign a contract with me, right? You giving me your social does not automatically say I could do X Y Z with your social. That's not what that means. You giving me your social is you giving me your social under the conditions of our contract. So, for instance, when you go and apply for Social Security, because I have a form here, that's the Social Security form. When you go and apply for Social Security, there is an authorization to disclose information to the Social Security Administration. So we're going to talk about that document. That's this document right here. All right. When you go and apply for, in all the government agencies, when you apply for food stamps, it's a document just like this. It's called authorization to disclose information. First of all, the word authorization means that you are giving them permissible purposes to get that information. Thank you, Tony. You're giving them permissible purposes to get that information. USDA SNAP policy released article stating the applicants have a right to file with online. Yeah, we're not talking about that though. We're not talking about that. The point of so y'all, we recording this, so y'all, we gonna stay on topic today. The point of the recording is what and how is your information shared. The reason why I'm educating you guys on this is because you can't stop the sharing of and sale of your information if you don't understand how it's being shared or sold. So there are thousands, probably millions of people that are already on Social Security. You need to understand how your information is already being sold. There's already people, millions of people on food stamps. You need to be able to understand how your information is already being sold and distributed, right? That's what we're talking about. There is any application that you fill out, you can reserve your privacy. You can protect your privacy by not disclosing any information that you choose not to. You have a right to privacy as defined by this law and also as defined by the Privacy Act of 1974. However, if you complete these applications online, you will not be able to protect that privacy and not put these things in there. So like social security numbers, specific things that they ask you before you move forward on the application, you would have to print out a paper application and mail it in. So now that we have that out the way, when you file these applications, they are not going to take the application if you do not give them the authority to disclose information. So even if you don't put social and all that stuff on there, right? Once you sign this authorization to disclose, let's just say you are applying for disability benefits. You sign this. This is a form called SSA 827. Y'all put SSA 827 in the comments. SSA 827. Form SSA for Social Security Administration 827. Y'all put in the comments because somebody gonna come ask me what form this is as soon as I start talking about it. I don't want to get distracted, so y'all type that in the comments. SSA form 827. This is a disclosure of information form. Once you sign this form, I'm finna read to you guys how it's written so ambiguously to where you are disclosing all type of stuff that they are not telling you clearly and conspicuously. It's kind of like you have to read between the lines. Thank you, Ibni. So they give you food stamps to sell your info. Yeah, they definitely do. All right, so we're explaining the SSA 827. SSA form 827. Yes. Let me pin this on TikTok. Just for the people who gonna come in and ask. All right, y'all do me a favor. TikTok, we still ain't to 1,000 likes. We're gonna pause. We're gonna give a moment of silence for the people on TikTok who don't want to engage with me, y'all. What's going on with TikTok, YouTube? What's wrong with these people? Yeah, I'm talking about y'all. Me and YouTube finna have a nice little conversation. What's wrong with these people? YouTube is engaging. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I might have to cut y'all off. I don't like it. Inspirational Gemini said just in time. You are just in time, baby. SSA form 827. Yes, ma'am. You on YouTube today, that's why. No, girl, I got 53,000 followers on TikTok. Them people that's sitting on their live better tap their screen. Some of them got off because I said something. Oh, well. Y'all do me a favor. For the people that are on the live, share it for me. Somebody else, I guarantee you 2 other hands on that tapping the screen is going to help y'all out a lot. Just share the live. I think my regulars are on YouTube today. Y'all stay over here. Don't run the TikTok. Stay over here. We trying to migrate to YouTube anyway, so y'all stay over here, YouTube. I'm liking the way y'all doing y'all thing over here. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Nova. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are explaining the SSA form 827. It says we need your written authorization to help get the information required to process your claim. They're basically telling you that to process your claim, we need to understand your finances. To get that information, we need you to authorize that. Y'all, why do they need you to authorize that? Why they need y'all to, somebody answer that for me. Why they need you to authorize it? Why must you authorize them having those specific details? If they're the government and all powerful like they try to say and try to act, why do they need your permission? Why is there an authorization that is required? Somebody answer that for me. It was definitely needed. I gotta go find it. You could just Google SSA 827. It'll come up. There's the form and then there's the explanation of the form. So that's what we're going over. So for the people who are tuning in on TikTok, right now we're going over the authorization of disclosure. Your phone froze. Oh. Can y'all see me on TikTok? Put a 1 in the comments if you can see me. Thank you for the follow, Nova. I appreciate you. For all the people that are looking at me right now on YouTube, y'all following me? Y'all have already followed me? If you haven't, take this second to go follow me and then come back to the live. I'm gonna wait on y'all. Y'all go ahead, I'm gonna be here. So they know you're because some is defined as the administrative service that why they need authorization. I'm just guessing on this. So those are some good guesses. And none of what y'all saying is wrong. I'm just trying to get y'all to think a specific way. So federal law. What federal law, Rebecca? Hey, what's up, Mike? What federal law requires that they have your disclosure, your written consent before they disclose something? Trivia question. How they used to do a pop quiz. What federal law, y'all? No wrong answers. Let's think about it. This is gonna help y'all. This is the way that I study. Literally. Look how I mark this paper. What federal law requires them to have your authorization? Because that's why they wrote this. The SSA 827 is a whole form because of what law? Not fair. So fair credit reporting is about them reporting your information. So of course, fair credit reporting does have a permissible purpose section that says that you have to have written consent. So that's one of the answers. So it's actually two answers. Privacy Act of 1974, guys. Y'all put that in the comments. Privacy Act of 1974. Privacy Act. There's always a Privacy Act statement with every application that you're doing. Some of y'all should remember seeing it. Is it ringing a bell to anybody? The Privacy Act says that you can not disclose information. You can withhold that information from them, and you cannot be compelled. They cannot deny you benefits because you don't want to give that information. That's why you don't have to disclose anything but your name, address, things like that. That's been around since 1974. The Fair Credit Reporting Act. Matter of fact, since I got it right here, I can read it to y'all. Permissible purposes section, subsection 604 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it says, subject to subsection C, any credit reporting agency or consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other. Number one says, in response to an order of a court having jurisdiction to issue such an order or a subpoena issued in connection with the proceeds before a federal grand jury. That means if the courts are not summoning your credit report or summoning them to have to disclose that information, they can't do it. The only way a court would do that is if you were to like file bankruptcy or something like that. Besides that, that has nothing to do with an account, a regular account being permissibly disclosed. Two is in accordance with the written instruction of the consumer in which it relates. This basically means the consumer has to opt in to reporting things. So if you say, look, I don't want that reported, then that means they do not have the authorization to disclose that information. That makes sense to y'all? Y'all understanding what I'm saying? So the whole purpose of them needing your authorization is because permissible purposes says they can't disclose information about you without that. Also, the Privacy Act says you don't have to give that information up. Mike say I'm tracking, okay. See if you're disabled. To see if you're disabled. Inspiration of Gemini. I don't know what the first comment was from. Privacy Act 1974. Okay. So look. We know now that you have to have authorization because of those two acts. Privacy Act and Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay, so it says we need your written authorization to help get information required to process this claim and to determine your capability of managing benefits. Sounds like they want to know. That's why when you're on disability, they ask you how much money you got in the bank, how many bank accounts you have, how much this and that. And it's like, why is that any of your business? If I'm disabled, what does that have to do with something I might have inherited or something I may have worked for before I became disabled? It's kind of crazy. This goes on to say the laws and regulations require that sources of personal information have a signed authorization before releasing it. Now I'm going to pause. This is the Social Security Administration saying laws and regulations require that sources of personal information, aka consumer reports, have a signed authorization before releasing this to us. Doesn't that sound like the written instruction of the consumer in which it relates? Remember, I read that to y'all as it pertains to permissible purposes of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Social Security is saying, look, this is you authorizing us to get that information. Federal law requires that before we share or any other person shares your personal information with me, that they have a signed authorization. So for the person who was saying that somebody said they were getting a hard time, somebody was giving them a hard time. I can't remember which one, Experian. So with Experian, do they have permissible purposes to be reporting that if they don't have jurisdiction, they don't have proof? If the Social Security Administration says that sources of personal information must have your written disclosure, you literally could write them and say, hey, I would like proof that I gave you the written consent to even furnish this information, because federal law requires my written consent and you need to be able to produce that. Just simply say something like that and see how they respond to it. Don't go long and drawn out. Don't go to talk about other stuff. Make it specifically about that. Make them respond to just that. Put a 1 in the comments if you are still here and tuned in with me. All right, TikTok paying attention. I like y'all. Y'all waking up. Okay. Keep liking, keep sharing. It may be my job. I'm at work. I think that earlier. Oh yeah, probably so. Probably whenever you got service, that's when it came up. Detroit, I see you. They are doing the most. With anything that they are reporting, do they have permissible purposes to report it? I have bad reception. Can you repeat the last? The last thing I said was that federal law says that they have to have your written consent to disclose any information. So whomever is sharing your information, whoever is sharing, mean they making money from your information, right? So you need to know every time they made money off it, did you permissibly disclose that? Did you have permissible purposes to disclose that? Or if they don't have permissible purposes, what is that called? The definition is a fraud committed using the personal identifying information of another person. What is that called? What is that called, y'all? A fraud committed using the personal identifying information of another person. What is it called? Identity theft. Bingo. See how they came full circle? So if you don't have my personal information, you don't have my written instruction to disclose my personal information, then you don't have permissible purposes. That means you're violating federal law, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. What's the remedy for when they violate this? What's the remedy for them violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you guys? Thank y'all on TikTok. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep sharing. I appreciate y'all. What's the remedy, YouTube? What's the remedy for if they violate the federal law that says they have to have your authorization? Nobody know? I think it's a delay on YouTube. So if y'all are commenting, I don't see it yet. Somebody says, Sue, what's the remedy? So remedy means what do you get in place of that civil liability section? What is the remedy? Somebody tell me. Compensation up to 1,000K per violation. Facts. Facts. So raising the Austins. When you say sue, how much you suing for? You suing for at least $1,000 per incident. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves in every situation, do they have permissible purposes to disclose this information? If I were to question them, could they produce a signed authorization that I gave them the permission to do this? Somebody need to be writing some notes down. Every person disclosing your personal information. First question you need to ask yourself, do they have permissible purposes? Do I think I signed something? And if you're too confused and you don't remember, ask them. They have to have it on file. Even if you've signed it, they have to have it on file for it to be legitimate. I don't know how to pursue that yet. Raising of the Austins, yes. For sure, monetary damages each time. All right. So, Social Security Administration says you can provide this authorization by signing this form. So, to have your information disclosed legally to SSA, you can sign the form SSA 827 form. That form will release your information. Now, let me ask you a question. Have we discussed who they are getting this information from? Yes or no? Have they disclosed? Have you heard me say who they are getting this information from? Raising the Austins, who are they getting it from? Okay. Somebody paying attention. Say the work number. Okay. So, since they are getting it from the work number, y'all understand that the work number is not the only place. Technically, they didn't tell y'all that in this document. I told you that. I told you that because I read that somewhere else. But they didn't say that on here. On here, they said, we need your written authorization to help get the information required to process your claim and to determine your capability for managing benefits. Laws and regulations require that sources of personal information have a signed authorization before releasing it to us. Also, laws require specific authorization to release information about certain conditions and forms of educational sources. You can provide this authorization by signing this SS 827. So I'm going to ask y'all the question again. Did they tell you where they are getting the information from? Remember that you are signing an agreement with them for them to collect information. Think about if it was something else. Think about if you were signing an agreement with them to collect money. Did they tell you where they're collecting the money from? Think about your information as money. Are they telling you where they're getting it from? I told you. But who knew that before I told y'all that? Who knew that before today? Put a 1 in the comments if you knew all this before today. Before my post on Facebook, before I said something about it, who knew that they were using Workforce Solutions and the work number? That the government was directly using Equifax via the work number and Workforce Solutions. Because they don't write that. They don't put that on here. So if y'all have one of these, if y'all writing, I would write right under here where they say, you know, authorization to disclose. You're authorizing them to get your information from Workforce Solutions as well as the work number. Now, they also use subsidiaries. So it's a rabbit hole. When I say rabbit hole, it's a rabbit hole for a reason. Because it keeps getting deeper. No matter how far down you go, it's always some lower shit. It's always some deeper shit. It's kind of like, damn, I didn't think it could get that deep. So for a second, we're gonna pause and, well, let me finish this, and then we're gonna go back to experience. I mean, you're gonna go back to Equifax. So you can provide this authorization by signing this SS 827. Federal law permits sources with information about you to release that information if you sign a single authorization to release all your information from all of your possible sources. Did y'all catch that? Somebody say they got it. Who caught that? Hey, Toy, what's up? Who caught what I said? So basically, I just told you that they are going to use every possible source they can. Now, I'm telling you the source that they use for certain things. They're saying, these people just said, federal law permits. They didn't say we are going to do this. They didn't say the next steps are X, Y. They said federal law permits. So that means it is within our rights, is what they're saying. It is within our rights to collect information about you and have that released to us. So it says federal law permits sources with information about you to release that information if you sign a single authorization to release all of your information from all of your possible sources. That is what this is. This is a release of all information from all possible sources. So if you have not went to said possible sources prior to releasing this information and telling them, hey, look, don't share my information. Hey, look, don't share my information. Hey, look, you don't have permissible purposes. Don't share my information. They gonna tell on you. It's kind of like not having your story together. It's kind of like going to court and you don't have your story together. You went to court, you didn't even tell the people who, you know, you and your accomplice didn't get y'all story together. Now y'all all up in there telling different stories. 9 times out of 10, they gonna rat on you. That's basically what the credit reporting agencies do. Because you sign one document. So people think, oh, there's a power of attorney document that I'm looking for. It's not. No. Y'all are clearly and conspicuously giving them the specific disclosures to do specific things. This is at the top of the 827 form. We just have read these 2 sections right here. So they are properly disclosing to you, when you sign this form, we are going to anybody who we can and have them release your information to us. Put one in the comments if you heard what I said on YouTube. Not even just that. Even though Ebony, that's a good observation. They do have over 4 subsidiaries. However, there are thousands of consumer reporting agencies that have nothing to do with Equifax that they use as well. So credit reporting agencies, consumer reporting agencies have a database that they share information through. Equifax has and so I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but Equifax, in what year did they come out with this? Because y'all know I be taking notes on people. Equifax came out with a cloud last year, 2023. Equifax invented a cloud. Kind of like, y'all know how iCloud stores information? So Equifax has a cloud where they store this information. As a matter of fact, TikTok, I might have something I can show y'all. It's not on this phone for YouTube, so I might not be able to show y'all, but let's see. It's not going. Damn it. I can show you. So that is Equifax. It's not showing y'all clear enough. It's not clear to me. That ain't clear to me, but y'all can see and read this. This confirms what I was. I'm sorry. This confirms what I was showing y'all about, or telling y'all about, the government using that program through the USDA and other food and nutritional services to verify before they give you SNAP, before they give you SSA, things like that. They're using that system to verify. I had some visuals for y'all, but it's looking like I cropped it too much. It's showing y'all too big. Yeah, it's showing y'all too big. That sucks. Oh well. Talking to me is fine. I'm sure y'all believe what I'm saying. If you don't, you can just go look on YouTube. Not YouTube. Look on Equifax's website. You could go. You can look on YouTube though on my page, because I will be uploading this as soon as I get out. Is that the data fabric? Yeah, that's called data fabric. Yeah, I saw it this morning. It's a very intricate system. Malik, I don't even know. I have to see. It's a playlist I have that somebody made for me. You're the only person that caught on to that. So somebody asked, is it illegal for people to have access if they don't have this? Is it a form of identity theft? It is illegal if you did not sign. So if you are getting some type of Social Security disability benefit, you sign one of these. Prior to you getting that benefit, they required you to sign that 827 specifically for those reasons. However, y'all put the word revoke in the comments. You always have the opportunity to revoke if you give somebody authority. So put the word revoke in the comments. Y'all put the word revoke in the comments. And look, the same form tells you how to revoke it. It says, a few states and some individual sources of information require that the authorization specific. So we're going to go back. Remember how I told y'all sign this one time and you give them authorization to show anybody? Let's clarify that. So you can provide this authorization by signing a form SS-827. Federal law permits sources with information about you to release that information if you sign a single authorization to release all your information for all of your purposes or from all possible sources. We will make copies of it for each source. A covered entity may not condition treatment, payment, enrollment, or eligibility for benefits on whether you sign this authorization form. A few states and some individual sources of information require that the authorization specifically name the source that you were authorized to release your personal information. So depending on your state, you guys should look up what state are y'all in. Drop your state in the comments. Drop y'all states in the comments. You need to look up if your state requires for you to have to sign a specific authorization naming the source that they can use to disclose your information. Because SSA is basically saying some states have different laws, and they do. Some states require that you okay, Texas, I'm in Texas too. Some states require that you specifically sign something that names the company each company that's gonna have your information. SSA goes on to say that you have the right to revoke this authorization at any time. So when y'all say revoke, that was for a reason. You have the right to revoke. Somebody put right to revoke. Right to revoke. You have the right to revoke your authorization for them to disclose any information that you've ever authorized to have disclosed. So if you wake up today, and this is not legal advice, neither am I a legal aid, attorney, or anything like that. Let's just say you woke up tomorrow and you said, I got too much DTI on my credit report. I want to go in and remove some of that shit. You have the right to revoke their authorization to disclose that information. Y'all caught that? So if you have a right to revoke that, that means you can take that off of your credit report. Listen to the instructions. You have the right to revoke this authorization at any time, except to the extent a source of information has already relied on it to take an action. So if they have already reported it and it's previously been reported and you opt out, it's not going to cover. It's not, you can't backdate an opt out. So opt out goes from that day forward. All right. So it begins today. If you opt out today, it begins today. It says to revoke, send a written statement to the Social Security office. Period. I'm gonna say that again because somebody not gonna catch that. You have a right to revoke your authorization at any time, except to the extent that a source of information has already relied on it to take action. To revoke, send a written notice to the agency. No matter who the agency is, it could be a credit reporting agency, it could be a collection agency, it could be a creditor, it could be whomever. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the comments if you are still with me. Well, Mike, in this situation where we're talking about with the 827, if you signed that form, you did give them the authorization. We're specifically just talking about that. But in some cases, you don't. Some cases you do, though. You got to be very careful about the documents that you're signing so you can know if you're giving away that information. Sometimes we are and we don't realize it. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? What's going on, YouTube? I see it's a few people that's new in the room. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I will be posting this as soon as this live is over, so you guys can watch the replay. Be sure if you're on TikTok to go over to my YouTube so you can catch the entire replay on YouTube. Do we have to sign it? If you want the benefits, you have to sign it. Now, the thing is, prior to signing that, somebody guess what should you do? What should you do prior to signing this disclosure form? Now, I'm going to tell you, but I want y'all to guess. What should you do? Come on, it's not even that deep. Think about it. Think about it. If you were cleaning your credit report, before you, all right, I'm gonna give y'all another analogy. If you were applying for a house, right? I used to be a real estate agent. If you were applying for a house and you knew that Experian was gonna report some items that you didn't want them to report, what would you do first? Before you come to me and have me pull your Experian report, what would you go and do? Come on, y'all. Johnny had 2 apples. Think about it. If Johnny had 2 apples, what would he be doing? We talked about Privacy Act of 1974 already. Yeah, we talked about that already. When y'all say freeze, why y'all do freezes? What's up with a freeze? If I told you that, because we need to all make sense. If I told you that the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to have your information only disclosed if you give the written consent, right? If I say that and then I turn around and say they have to have your written consent, they don't, well, they have your written consent right now. What would you do so where they can't report that item? You would revoke. Remember I told you I say revoke? You would revoke your consent. If I know, again, this is not legal advice. If I know that the Social Security Administration is going to use the work number. I work for myself, so I'm not reporting anything to the work number. But let's just say hypothetically, if I know that they're going to use the work number to let another agency know if I have a job or not, right? I'm going to go to the work number and I'm going to opt out. I'm going to opt out of the work number sharing my information, right? Because I don't want your ass to have it. At the end of the day, I don't want the end user having the information. So if you're the only person with it, you have to follow this. This says that y'all, excuse my book is a little regular. This says that you need my written consent. This says that I can opt out. This says blah, 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 right? I'm gonna make sure you follow this. At the end of the day, this also says that I have the option, meaning I can opt in, out at any time. I'm gonna opt out and then I'm gonna allow them to pull it. So then they won't have any records. Put no records in the comments. You wanna not have no records come up? Opt out of these people reporting your stuff. No, you actually right. Don't say you just keep. That's right. Send a letter revoking consent. Send a letter opting out. You correct. Why did I stop doing real estate? Because I don't need to work. If you know any realtors, they're basically the middleman. You make a commission off of the sale of the house. You don't really make, unless the house is a lot of money, you don't really make that much money. And with the housing market being what it was, I wasn't making enough money for me to even want to continue to do that. Prior to me doing that, I only really became, just to let y'all into my world a little bit, I only really became a real estate agent in 2020 because I was pregnant and I was bored. I had nothing else to do, so I learned a new skill. And yeah, my friend's mom was a broker, worked for her. Our friend directly does mortgages. So if y'all need a mortgage loan officer or whatever like that, she does that. So that's kind of how I got into that. I stopped doing it because of the market. It's just horrible. And I learned about all this fraud that was going on. I definitely don't want nobody suing me. Like I'm a participant. Like I'm a willful participant. You can opt out of anything reporting on your credit. I'm torn between doing real estate still. I mean, if it's a good job if you need to work. Fraud is making me run. Yeah, I understand. Trust me, I understand. I don't want to be in nobody loss. I can't be out here teaching people how to sue people for fraud and then assisting with the people committing fraud. Y'all understand? So that's pretty much in short why I can't do it anymore. I can't be telling you how to sue me. That wouldn't be crazy. That would be crazy, right? I'm gonna come tell y'all how to get a bag off me. Hell no, because then somebody gonna say, Rebecca, come sell me a house. Literally, when I was becoming a realtor, before I did Bob Brooks, and I got my license in Louisiana. And some of the notes that I had, I still got notes too. In one of my binders, I got my notes from real estate school, and they literally taught us how to avoid having to abide by truth in lending when we were advertising. Like they teach you how to go around. They teach you loopholes. So that's why I really don't trust realtors. I'm going to look at some property. I'm going to look at some property this week. I be giving them realtors hell, baby. And that I don't even be trying to. It's just I think I ask too many questions. People don't be wanting to, or just don't be knowing the answer to. Yeah. I'm only doing rentals for now. I don't blame you. I don't blame you with that. I totally understand. And honestly, I think the real estate game is going to go more toward rentals, because a lot of these big corporations are buying up acres, putting neighborhoods on them, and then they're renting the houses out in the neighborhoods. You can't even move in the neighborhood to buy it. So it's kind of like the game of Monopoly. Think about Monopoly. Think about the game of Monopoly now. Just think. How do you find out who has your information? Ask. The Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you. You gotta ask. They don't want you to purchase because they want to be able to hike up the rents. If you think about it, if these people keep buying neighborhoods, then that means they could price the houses for whatever they want in the neighborhood, which means that that raises, or that would determine the price of the surrounding homes, right? So if we want to raise the rent on our houses in this neighborhood, we're gonna get another, we're gonna get another plot of land, a neighborhood right next to this neighborhood, and rent those houses out, rent them out for a lot. Sell them for a lot of money to ourselves, to a trust that we own, to make it look like they were worth this amount of money. Literally what they do. You still buy cars and houses if the information isn't disclosed? Yep. If I see. So this is the thing. That was a good question. If the if the bank that you're let's just say you go to Capital One and get a loan, right? Or you go to Mercedes. Mercedes uses Navy Federal, Capital One, whomever, right? Whoever floats your boat. So they use them. Let's just say that they use Experian or TransUnion or Equifax, because it got to be one of them, right? They're directly connected to those subsidiaries. They are not the actual subsidiary. So when the person comes to Experian, they're only going to have what Experian has. So if I went to everybody who Experian deals with and says, hey, look, don't tell Experian my damn business. Don't tell them my business. Don't tell them my business. Don't tell them my business. When you go to Experian and say, well, what do you know about Rebecca? Experian going to say, hold on, let me check my Palm Pilot. They're going to go check and they're going to be like, wait a minute. Hold on, let me check it again. Hold on. Oh, she not allowing us to, we don't have no information. So they're only going to disclose what you have. Now, am I saying erase everything off your credit report? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you choose what you disclose and you remove what you don't want to disclose. Period. If I send a letter to revoke consent, do I send it to the actual company? You send it to all parties that are sharing your information. Can you still buy a car? Yeah. I answered that. I just found out about early warning services. Just found out. Early warning services has been around too. Yeah, it's a cold-blooded game. And I literally hadn't even gotten to most of the stuff that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So basically we talked about authorizations to disclose information and then how you revoke or opt out of those things. I also wanted to talk to you guys about specifics about Equifax, but I think I'm gonna double back and talk to y'all later about that. I have somebody calling me. I need to take this call. So YouTube, I'm gonna see y'all later. All right, y'all tune back in. The replay is gonna be available in just a second.